Hello. Today I will be walking you through the curriculum overview for the summer backpack pre-work. Our hope is that you will begin to understand and be able to describe how the student outcomes of our personalized learning model are achieved in your course, and also describe how the traditional and personalized learning pathways are alike and different through the lens of curriculum. Here's how we're going to accomplish those objectives during our time together. First, I will lead an overview of the student outcomes. Then you will hear about the similarities and differences that you can expect from the curriculum between traditional and personalized learning. Finally, you will see how those student outcomes will be achieved through your course. Student outcomes in the personalized learning. Let's take a look at the three outcomes of personalized learning, specifically through a curriculum lens, and think about how we achieve concepts, content knowledge, and habits of success in a science classroom in our personalized learning model. Students follow the project-based curriculum to develop cognitive skills. While working on projects, students develop their cognitive skills through many avenues, including workshops, small group instruction, and/or targeted resources. Projects require students to work on their higher order thinking skills. The rigor at the project level is at the apply, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate levels, DOK 3 through 4. In order to put those cognitive skills to work, our students must first develop a knowledge base of vocabulary, ideas, events, concepts, properties, and details related to a given academic subject. This learning happens during self-directed learning. During self-directed learning time, students are working at the identify, describe, and explain rigor levels, DOK 1 through 2. Lastly, without the habits of success, none of this learning would be possible. Skill development, both foundational and higher order, can only happen on a developmental pathway that integrates cognitive, social, and emotional skills. Science 5, PISD, and personalized learning. Here you will find our year at a glance, or YAG, for both our personalized learning and traditional classrooms. You will notice the curriculum calendars are very close in timelines, but because students are working at their own pace in the platform, not all students are working on the exact same content at the exact same time, like in a traditional setting. For example, the order of each YAG is the same. The only difference is that the traditional classroom runs TEK by TEK, or combines like TEKs, which consist of readiness and supporting together. In the PL classroom, the standards are divided into power focus areas, or PFAs, and additionals. Power focus areas consist of those standards that are mostly readiness or highly tested standards. Additionals consist of the supporting standards, and you'll see at the bottom we have challenge areas. These are extension activities for those students who successfully complete the PFAs and additionals. These students can benefit from more challenging activities. In personalized learning, students can work through their PFAs and additionals at their own pace during self-directed learning time, or SDL. But you will notice how PFAs and additionals coincide with the projects. By completing the PFAs and additionals in this timeline, students will gain the foundational knowledge to support their learning as they work through the projects. As students take these assessments, power focus areas, and additionals, they will gather data which will let them know what objectives to focus on in order to learn the information they need in order to pass those content assessments. Passing the content assessment shows that the student has mastered that content and should be able to take what they know and apply it in the project associated with that content on a higher cognitive level. Next, we're going to look at similarities and differences within the traditional classroom and the personalized learning classroom. You will find that with both models, they lead to student success. This is because all of the necessary components and best practices in a traditional setting are also found in the personalized learning platform setting. The only difference is the delivery method. Starting at the top, you'll notice in the traditional classroom, we often find pre-assessments are given. This is also done in the personalized learning platform through diagnostic tests. Teaching the content is not all that different, but it's mostly done through mini lessons in the personalized learning platform. Practice without penalty or independent work. This is found mostly through their self-directed learning time. Small group instruction does not go away. We simply refer to it as workshops. So you will be pooling workshops or pooling students to join a workshop based on student needs. By student by standard, in the traditional setting, students ensure each student's needs are met and based on data. They provide students with additional supports to help them master that standard. In comparison, teachers in the personalized learning setting will have built-in mentoring time with a group of students. Teachers will monitor the students' academic status, reflect, and support students in following through on his or her goals. Hands-on experiences. This is found mainly in our project time. This is where you will see labs and activities, and it's through project-based learning. And lastly, campus common assessments. You'll mainly see your assessments in personalized learning through the Power Focus area assessments and additionals. The teacher's role as a learning facilitator. As you read over these bullet points, hopefully you will find that the teacher's role as the facilitator is not that unlike the teacher's role in the traditional classroom. Similarities and differences, focus areas, a closer look. As you can see, the traditional and personalized learning curriculum calendars are closely aligned. The only difference is in personalized learning, students have the opportunity to work ahead and complete the focus areas at their own pace. Keep in mind, students have the option to work ahead, but we do not want students to get behind and become off track according to their year calendar. The amount of time spent on Power Focus areas is extended and more in depth than additionals because it is more foundational for future success. Power Focus areas and additionals are designed to coincide with the projects so students have that foundational knowledge of the TEKS as they are working on the projects. Continuing our closer look, you'll see that our curriculum centers largely around projects that relate to the real world. Students connect what they are learning to life beyond the classroom, sparking curiosity and enthusiasm for their lessons. Whether they're working on projects individually or together with peers, students learn and refine skills such as working with a team, interpreting data, or presenting a persuasive argument. At the end of every project, students share what they have learned. They can do this through essays, presentations, lively structured debates, or other creative ways that relate to the specific project. While students are directing the project work together, teachers oversee their progress and give feedback along the way. When they see the opportunity for deeper learning or to help students who fall off course, teachers use class time to work with students individually or in small groups to provide specific support. With projects, students are learning both the subject matter and how to direct their own progress toward their end goal for the project. Projects are assigned to mirror the content needed to be successful. Students who are on track should be able to take the information in the focus areas and apply it in the projects. They will apply the content they have learned by demonstrating how that applies to a specific cognitive skill. Cognitive skills are those real-life skills needed in order to be a productive member of society. Next, we'll take a closer look at the structure of a project. You will see with the structure of a project, this chart shows that each project will begin with an entry event, followed by checkpoints. Within the checkpoint, you will see learning experiences, activities, resources, and time for workshops. Between each checkpoint, students will have formative assessments of cognitive skills and the opportunity to receive feedback on those cognitive skill or the development of that cognitive skill. Checkpoints will be determined by the specific project, but will end with a final product. Let's take a closer look at the entry event. Projects will begin with a learning experience which introduces the project, the final products, and how cognitive skills and content knowledge are developed. In other words, the big picture. Entry events are meant to generate interest for students and establish relevance about the topic and cognitive skills in the project. They are the first learning experience of the project and are often whole group and teacher-led. Next, let's take a look at checkpoints. Throughout the project, students complete checkpoints. Checkpoints are opportunities for formative assessment and feedback on cognitive skills. Checkpoints often lead up to or contribute to the final product. At checkpoints, students and teachers assess progress on cognitive skill development and use that data to determine follow-up learning experiences. Checkpoints occur periodically throughout the project and are student-led individual tasks so that students may rehearse and receive feedback individually. Next, let's look at activities. To help students make progress, activities offer opportunities to practice a cognitive skill and/or move toward an associated checkpoint. Activities are intended for students to engage with and complete. In the platform, when you assign an activity to students, a copy is made for each individual student to complete. Activities target specific student needs to develop cognitive skills or essential content knowledge. They may be an individual, pair, or group learning experience. Resources, these are used to support student needs. Resources provide scaffolds or additional materials. Examples include tiered reading, models, and graphic organizers. In the platform, resources are single link for which students can only view but not edit. Resources are provided to meet specific student needs and help students as they prepare for checkpoints, feedback, or to complete final products. Teachers selectively assign resources to students based on their needs. Workshops. Teachers can employ mini lessons or workshops that target a group of students who would benefit from teacher-driven support with a specific cognitive skill, content understanding, or task need. Workshops are also designed to target data-driven, specific student needs. They may occur throughout lessons, are typically teacher-led, simple, and held often in order to meet more needs of more students. Again, in between each checkpoint, you'll see that there is time for feedback on cognitive skill development. The opportunity to revise work is critical to build growth mindset and continual improvement for students. Having opportunities to revise work should be planned throughout a project. Based on feedback, students may benefit from a workshop, resource, activity, or revise or revision of the checkpoint work to develop the skill. Lastly, you'll see the final product. Once students have practiced their cognitive skills thoroughly, they demonstrate their learning in a final product. Final products serve as an authentic summative assessment of cognitive skills associated with the project. They are also authentic tasks that prepare students for work required later in life. Students may complete their final products piece by piece as they engage with checkpoints or at the end as a final task. All of this preparation and interaction for the learning experience develops cognitive skills and content knowledge needed for the final product. This table shows an overview of the structure of the project. The link and the title take them directly to the resource in the platform with more details. Okay, at this time, we're actually going to kind of dive into our first project, which is Energize Me. So you'll see on this first page, we're looking at the overview of the project. So here you'll find what the project is about. You'll see the essential question. You'll see how the project is broken down into the different checkpoints. Your final product here at the end. So here on this overview page, all of this is here mainly for the teacher. So enduring understanding, you can read more about this. There's a description of the project. You'll find all of the cognitive skills that are associated with this project. You can view the rubric. And so here you'll see the different cognitive skills. The rubric, so this will help you determine and score those cognitive skills for the students. Underneath the cognitive skills, you'll see the power focus areas that are associated with this project. Resources for everyone. You'll usually find teacher information down at the bottom. And again, this will lead you to different checkpoints. So checkpoint 1, you'll see plans for day 1, 2, and 3. Again, understanding of uses of energy here at the top. What is the focus of this checkpoint? And you can view the rubric. So for this specific checkpoint, we're using the following cognitive skills. You'll see that within the checkpoints, cognitive skills are assessed multiple times before the final product. Resources for everyone. Here at the bottom, you'll see this tab, Team Norms Contract. So this would be a resource that everybody has access to. If there is a lock here, this is a teacher-facing resource, so only teachers can see this type of resource. The rest students should have access to. So you'll see there are multiple resources that can be used or can be assigned to students. Most checkpoints will also have scaffolds and challenges. So these can be assigned to specific students based on their needs. Down in the teacher info, you'll see that we already have key misconceptions to anticipate. Modifications are available. And then again, another teacher resource. So this is just teacher facing. Only the teacher can view this. The rest of the checkpoints you'll find to be very similar in the overview. The star indicates the final product. Now, if I click over here on plans, now this is broken down, planning day by day. Again, you'll see how there are goals up at the top. So some information for teachers here. Entry event slideshow. So here is the entry event. This is where you'll find it for this particular project. Student notes, teacher notes. And again, this is broken down day by day for you. So this is a great way that teachers can use this resource to assist in their planning. What's also nice is you'll see time is given to a lot of these to kind of help you prepare based on your bell schedule. Okay, I'm going to make my way back to our agenda or our slide deck. Okay, we're going to look at the cognitive skill rubric. So there is a link here at the top, glossary of rubric and scoring language. You can go back and look at this for a little bit more information on the rubric, the glossary for the cognitive skills. But you can look and see which cognitive skills lend themselves easily to your subject area. Which cognitive skills do you feel will be challenging? So when it comes to these cognitive skills, we will get a lot of practice during the school year and through our focuses to help us prepare to use these cognitive skills. Focus areas and the project relationship. Focus areas are the building blocks or foundational concept knowledge needed to successfully apply what students have learned at the higher rigor level. STAR test, DOK 1 and 2 projects force the application of these skills at the DOK of 3 and 4, which ensure success on the STAR test. Basically, if students can apply knowledge at the DOK 3 and 4, then they surely can answer questions at the DOK 1 and 2. So this slide shows how projects in the course align to the focus areas in the course. As you can see, as an example, we have for student self-directed learning time, we have an example of students classify matter based on measurable, testable, and observable physical properties. And then students will test their knowledge of the physical properties of matter through experimental design and use the results to design prototypes. Students present their design solutions to a committee within their project. Another example, students demonstrate that the flow of electricity in closed circuits can produce light, heat, or sound. Within the project, students will construct a house with a floor plan that will incorporate all forms of energy. Students will build a working circuit for each room. Students will present their model and explain the flow of energy to their peers. The STAR connection. When students can apply their basic content knowledge from self-directed learning to real-world projects and problem-based instruction, they will achieve meets and masters on STAR. This slide here provides an image of the focus areas in our 5th grade science course for PISD. So you'll see that we have 9 power focus areas, 6 additional focus areas, and 4 challenge focus areas. New teacher support. As of now, this is our plan for professional development opportunities. You'll notice that we'll begin with backwards planning of Project 1. This will occur on either August 4th or August 5th. We have a district-wide focus, August 12th. Our first cadre backwards planning Project 2, 5th and 6th grade will be in late September. We'll have our October convening, which science will either be on the 12th or the 13th. District-wide focus, this will happen January 5th, where we will backwards plan project number 3. We'll have our February convening, which science will be either on the 15th or the 16th. And then lastly, backwards planning project number 4. This will be in March before spring break. Here you will find a link. This link will take you to the PISD Middle School Personalized Learning Communication Protocol. This page will provide a flowchart letting you know who and when to contact with issues or questions regarding the platform and instructions on middle school core subject areas. You'll also find at the bottom, you'll have important names to know, their positions and email addresses. Thank you so much for following along. Hopefully this Module 5 has been helpful to you.